Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode number 160. This is called In the Land of Silence. Yep, and because they're here, they have to reference the Shikamaru light novel, like, right away. So, the episode opens up with Team 7, well, basically Boruto, Sadara, Konohamaru, and Mink and Murkuro, he's known for Konohamaru's, where they're arriving at pretty much in the area where the Land of Silence is. They see that there's a wrecked cart and it's got like crows around it. There's a thief, and they mentioned that, oh yeah, this place was run by a man named Gringo. When I heard that, I'm like, oh yeah! Like, oh my gosh. Konohamaru just referenced something from canon stuff. Wow, referencing the Shikamaru light novel is quite interesting. Yeah, he definitely was a dictator. And they don't bring up the fact that Shikamaru was the one who took him down. Just that he was deposed. It's like, okay, I'm glad the fact they mentioned him, but I'm kind of like, why wouldn't they just mention who was one who deposed him? Yeah, that really makes no freaking sense at all. Yep, and then because they're shinobi and they don't like shinobi, yeah, apparently the land, because the fact there was a brief, they mentioned there was a brief replacement leader, but some people there got rid of him, so the Land of Silence doesn't have a leader anymore. No, not really. They mentioned that this is where fugitive ninja go, which that part is true. Yes, they brought this up in the Shikamaru light novel, and apparently that's still a problem after about 13 years, I'd say. Yeah, they do mention it was over a decade ago, which that part is actually kind of true, which I appreciate. That part was true. I didn't like the fact they did a small thing where it said, oh yeah, the fourth Ninja War was actually over 10 years ago, even as it was 10 years ago, it actually was freaking 15. Yeah. So, they go into the Land of Silence. First, before they go there, they take up all the ninja headbands, they hide them, and they all pretty much wear their ninja cloaks. Same type of, now the one that Boruto and Thunder wear, these are the same type of cloaks that, well, the Genin War and the Ninja War in the Naruto Shippuden series. I don't remember them wearing this thing in the original Naruto series. I do remember them wearing this thing in Shippuden. They wore this thing several times. They wore this, basically, the first time I remember them put this outfit on that I can think of was when they took on the tortoise. Yes, they were for that one. The very short filler arc in season 7, where they dealt with some city-destroying weapon. I think the last time they wore it in the original series, one Shippuden I can think of, was actually during the arc which led to the start of the Fourth Ninja War, when they declared Sasuke Uchiha a fugitive because his group pretty much attacked Killer Bee. Yeah, that was the last time I could think of. Isn't it surprising Boruto and Sada wearing these things? It is something though that Konohamaru is not wearing the same cloak. I'm not really sure why. I get the reason why, just to disguise them. Yeah, so I get the reason why. So they go in, so they see that the place is full of people from the Bingo Book. Yeah, if those of you know what the Bingo Book is, for in the case of Naruto, this is a very rare occasion where the Bingo Book is actually referenced. The Bingo Book is simply put a book of fugitives. Basically, any like high-level jonin basically will go out. There is some authorization to capture these people. Usually, it's kind of like anybody who's actually wanted is in this particular book. And if someone has died or has been captured, they get removed from the Bingo Book. And usually these things are updated probably frequently. Yes, the Bingo Book, as far as I can tell, this was first brought up in Shippuden. This has also, I think, been mentioned a couple times in the original Naruto series, but it was heavily brought up in the show of Shippuden. And it actually has shown up in this series a few times. They don't show in this episode, so then they go to sort of this place looking for anybody who knows about the Hiroshima. Well, first they go to a shop, which is very suspicious. Though Boruto was able to take out 2 of the guards there because the guy who ran the place thought they were there to arrest him. Nope. Basically, they need to find the Hiroshima cell. And says, I don't have the Hiroshima. I have this. A employee ID card, which is interesting. Just be sure to tie it up. Anyways, yes. Yeah, so they come across pretty much this hostess club. Yes, where women host the guys. It's a very similar setting they used in the only other series I've seen this type of place is in Gintama. Yes, Gintama, basically one of the characters was a hostess. The type of hostess that they use here are women who serve drinks and actually drink the booze along with the people, and they pay for the services of these women. Yeah, and sometimes when they show these series, like a couple times, these guys basically lose all their freaking cash, or they try to raise how much money they can get out of one person. That was a recurring gag. That was like actually a gag for a couple episodes of Gintama. It's interesting though. We have this thing in Boruto of all places. Yes, in the case of Naruto Shippuden, they didn't technically have one of these places. I mean, well, a place like this where they open up and you see people drinking in these various booths. They kind of had something like this in a one-off filler episode of Naruto, but Shippuden, no, they never actually did these things at all. Not that I could think of, no. And so they had these 4 women surrounding. They're like, go to this place called the Ladies. Yeah, and the ladies do show up a little bit later, but it turns out they're actually on the transformation jutsu. Boruto does the sexy jutsu. And the thing is, apparently, maybe Naruto taught it. I have no idea. So he transforms sex jutsu. He's like, oh yeah, let's see what's inside the bag. You don't see what's inside the bag a little bit later. You like, wait, I think this was private, and then the bag gets stolen by a little boy, which is the same little boy I saw earlier, who stole some food. And lucky enough, he's able to be Then he was able. The guys are catching him pretty quickly because he tripped over looked like a root or something, and he proceeds to beat him. Though Boruto basically stops him, and transforms back, and proceeds to have a brief scuffle with him when he brings out scalpels. Yes, freaking scalpels. Of course, he's a doctor. What else are you gonna do? And then he's pretty much easily defeated by Boruto. And he was like, what the heck is going on here? And they go away, and they tie him up to a freaking tree of all things. And he basically, even though he doesn't know where the Hiroshima was, he was simply brought there simply because he knows about the Hiroshima. He knows all information. And he was about to go to this place at, I think it was like 6 a.m. or p.m. Maybe with this particular contact, this particular bridge. Like, I was thinking about this, like, wait, this sounds a lot like the second arc of Naruto Shippuden, meeting on a bridge with this mysterious person. The only difference is this bridge is actually a little bit smaller than the one shown in Shippuden. But that one was destroyed by frickin' Naruto when he basically went into this, like, his nine-tailed cloak form. Yeah, this is a form he's shown a few times in the series. The last one I can think was during the Pain arc. But yeah, he uses this form to destroy the frickin' bridge. And in this series, it's a bit smaller bridge. Like, they have Konohamaru transform into this particular medical doctor who is a fugitive, named Kinitsuki. He transforms and have Boruto be his porter, or at least assistant, basically someone handling heavy bags, because he's a surgeon and his hands shake. So I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. And then you prove it, like mention, oh yeah, my employer is like the most beautiful person I know, and no gym can replace her. And they're wondering who's the player. Like, before I do that, I want to test your abilities. And apparently this guy has been infected with the Hiroshima cell. Yep. And he just collapses. Like, how are they going to solve this? Well, don't worry. That'll be solved by next week's episode. Interesting episode, to say the least. Got a lot of plot progression when it comes to the Hiroshima cell. And I think that going back to the Land of Silence was an interesting idea. I did not expect them to go back this place. I mean, if you look at it, how many regions have actually visited the series outside of Hidden Leaf? Well, they visited Hidden Mist for the first time in the series. Yeah, that was a strange thing that comes to Hidden Mist. Hidden Mist was never shown in Shippuden, and yet this series was shown there. We also returned to the Hidden Rain, which actually just very recently, and we also basically had a return to Land of Silence. Great. I love the fact we returned to this place, but one place that I would love to see him actually visit some point in the series, the Hidden Sand Village. Yeah, that would have been great. The Sand Village would have been interesting. The village that Naruto went to in the second arc of the original Naruto series, that would be nice if they actually went to that particular place. Yeah, where they see the Great Naruto Bridge. Yeah, that would be fantastic to go there. Let's see. The Cloud Village would be an interesting place. Let's see. Oh, I almost forgot. They have visited the Hidden Stone Village in the most negatively received arc of the series, the Mitsuki disappearance arc. Yeah, it was the first time I could think of they actually showed the place, and they showed a lot of places in flashback, but the Land of Silence, that was a place I never expected the series to visit, but kudos for the fact they're visiting this place. And I gotta hand it to these last 7 episodes are really, really good. Great civilization for the series, and I can't wait for next week. Where it looks like, though, next week's called Castle of Nightmares. Interesting to say the least. Yeah, so that's a particular review. That's why I gave it videos tonight, because I don't think I'll have time to review those new manga chapters that came out today. I'm probably going to save them for tomorrow. I'll review them along with the newest episode of Black Clover, which is airing tomorrow too, okay? But see you next video. Bye.